Hi, this is Pastor J.D. Marie with End Time Prophecies. I hope that God will bless you as you watch. Thank you. 9, Obama urges Congress to put this off because he knew where they would go with this. Keep that in mind. Okay, December 2009. We're not going to go there. Let's move on into this 2007 vision. Covered a lot of ground. I read to you about our president, which I proclaim by the Word of God and by the prophecy which God has given to me, that Obama's purpose is to usher in the Antichrist and doing a great job of bringing in the Antichrist nation, Islam. Whoop, in trouble there, but we're gonna show you something in a few minutes. I prayed and I began to ask God, how can a nation or a world that has been evangelized and persuaded millions of people that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and that we are Christians, how could a nation like that be mesmerized or fooled? This is what God showed me. He revealed to me, I'm going to show you a timeline here. I'm going to show you what is happening. I can't tell you when it's going to happen. Only Jesus Christ knows. Only God knows. Not even Jesus Christ knows. But I got an idea. It's close. Here, this dream, if you don't follow me closely, it might throw you just a little bit. But here's how God revealed to me how He brought about, or He's going to bring about, the nation that would become anti-God completely. Okay, in the vision, it was present day 2007. That was the year I had the vision. But in my dream, now follow me, my youngest daughter was 15 years old. What does this mean? If she was 15 years old in 2007, it means that she had to be born in 1992. This would make her 15 years old at the time. Okay, keep that in mind. That's very significant. My wife, Millie, and Chaz, that's my daughter, and I were at this ice cream stand, and my wife was shopping, and she was gathering some things, and we went to the cashier to pay for our stuff that we bought. When the cashier just said, that'll be $100. But the man said, first of all, how are you paying? My wife said, American dollar. Oh, he said, if you're paying with the American notes, it's not a dollar, it's a note. There's not enough gold in Fort Knox to back up our dollars that we're writing, so they call them notes. Notes. In the vision, it was notes. He said, if you are paying with American money, I got to have 125 notes. And I looked in my hand, and I had just a wad of money, and I began to shell out 125 notes. Because he said, your American dollar is only worth 77 cents. And that he wasn't going to accept it because he wasn't going to take the loss. Now let's move on. And I woke up from the dream or the vision and began to ask God, what is the meaning of this? And the age change of my daughter. And here's what the Spirit showed me, and I'm going to explain this. In 1992, that's when that showed that from 2007 to 1992, my daughter was 15 years old, because at the time that she'd be 15 years old, right? Because she was actually born in 1977. Okay. But in 1992, which I began to research some things, the American dollar was rapidly losing its value. And you know what it was worth? Up to 2007, about 77 cents. Okay. They no longer call silver certificates. I explained that to you. And God spoke, he said, Nebuchadnezzar's dream. Now, what does that mean? It means that there's a new world order coming that's made up of things that are so diverse and so opposite as the Nebuchadnezzar's giant of an idol was, that the feet was clay and iron and brass and gold mixed, and that don't bond together. So this kingdom of the Antichrist is going to be made up of all this ungodly things that are in this world, and false religions, and all these ungodly organizations, and headed by Satan himself. So this nation that we are living in, called America, is no longer one nation under God. I'm going to say it again. Obama was right when he said that America was not a Christian nation. We are Muslim, we Hindu, we Buddha. I hit some of the Protestants. We're Methodist, we're Catholic, we Pentecostal. We made up of so many religions, and nobody can get along, and we're all trying to go to heaven. What about that? So we're not one nation under God. We're like Solomon's day, when Solomon allowed all the strange women that he married to bring their gods in, and he built shrines to their gods, and they worshiped their gods. So America has been infiltrated by false gods. And God said he's not pleased with that. They have destroyed the liberty of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and now we're living in a country that is full of false gods. And now we have a president ruling and reigning in one of the most powerful countries and nations on earth, and he is proclaiming that he wants Islam and Muslim handled with a kid's glove. Don't touch it. And by the way, recently, Texas Governor Perry, he trying to get elected, of course, for president, and he's looking for the votes. But he's jumped on the Muslim bandwagon all of a sudden and proclaiming that there's going to be some changes in the law, that this Islam be taught in the schools. Why don't we just taught Pentecostal holy rollers? Why don't we just, all of us Pentecostals, rise up and say, I want you to teach my religion in school? That's not going to fly. They took the Bible out of the school, by the way. So you see where this thing is going? It's that the Antichrist nation has risen. It has spoken. And this Bill 777 ties right into with the Antichrist. We're going to tie it all together for you here at the end of this thing. So the name of the Lord Jesus Christ is an offense to the world. You can say God all you want to say. You can say the Father all you want to say. But if you say Jesus Christ, eyes are turned and eyebrows go up, and people say, ooh. Because this mighty nation that I'm talking to you about, the Muslim nation, they do not believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Let's move along with these dates. The birth of the Antichrist leader would explain, I'm explaining the years now. First, I would explain why my daughter's part in the vision is of great importance. We're going to go with her name first. Don't let me lose you. I know this is powerful. Her name is Chastity Dawn. Okay. And Hosea chapter 1, read that chapter. He married, and he had 3 children, and all of their names meant something pertaining to the return of Israel, Ephraim, and we're going to get in that later also, and the fate of Israel by names. So don't look at me and scratch your head and say, why would God give you a vision using your daughter's name? Well, why would he give Hosea a vision using his children's name? Names mean things. And we want to look at chastity first. It comes from the word chaste, meaning pure thought, modest and virtuous. Dawn means beginning of a new era, to begin to appear, to develop. We are seeing a new era being developed before our very eyes. The S-77 bill has changed the whole anatomy of man that God made. He's taken man and changed his whole anatomy by operation, by thought. If I think I'm this, I can be that. And they just couldn't leave well enough alone and go ahead and have their little organization. They got to pass a law, making it mandatory. The Antichrist is setting up that he can take over because he's bringing his army. Chastity means pure thought, modest, virtuous. Dawn means the beginning of a new era. Remember, the vision was 1992, but in reality, 2007. That would make her 15 years old in the vision, but in reality, she's 30 years old. So her birth date was 1977. So, just a little bit. This is a very important factor. As the meaning of the vision, another step backward, if she is 30 years old in 2007, and the vision is 1992, that would take us back to 1962 as another birth date. If you were researching 1962, some of our top politicians were born at that time. Leadership. The Antichrist leadership, not the Antichrist, he's always been around. The Antichrist leadership was born in 1962. The 1960s was an era that was, just to some people, a wasted era. It was a terrible era. I know about the 60s. Out of a generation of the 60s, we want to go particularly in the 1962. This was a time of great change. This is time that everybody just done their own thing. Decency. We lost our decency in the 60s. We lost our morals in the 60s. Freedom meant to do what feels good. We lost our chastity. So let's look at the word dawn in 1977. God showed me in 1977, let's back up about 3 or 4 words. I'm not saying that everyone born in 77 is Antichrist. I'm saying the nation of Antichrist was born in 1977. God said, I'll raise up a nation. He raised up Pharaoh to prove him to be God. The Egyptians were handled in such a way that Israel was proved to be God's chosen people. Pharaoh was a puppet in the hand of God, as the Antichrist will be before it's over with. But in 1977, God showed me that this is how I'm doing it. I am birthing a nation. I am birthing a nation to bring this about. Every generation since World War II has exhibited higher rates of non-belief. That's reaching back a little further. Now up to 20% among those born in 1977. So atheists. A lot of atheists was born in 1977. A lot of non-believers were born in 1977. Do your homework. Check me out. In fact, they say that atheists doesn't like numbers, but I disagree. The truth is just opposite. Let's talk. Now we're tying in the LGBT nation, the atheist nation, the Antichrist nation. We've already tied these in. Keep that in mind. This is powerful. I hope you're being blessed by the message of this end-time prophecy. This is all the time we have for this YouTube segment. But I hope you will watch the rest of our segments, that you too can be aware that the end of time is closer than what we think.